Hi, I'm Jonathan Ortmans, and I want to wish you a very happy Global Entrepreneurship Week. I was given a minute to comment on three questions, and I want to jump right into it. So, first of all, what would be the most important trait that I would encourage entrepreneurs to nurture? Well, I think there's a couple of things I would say. I think the first is uh, make sure that you actually are solving a painful problem, not just something that people might be interested. As often is said, are you giving them a painkiller or are you giving them a vitamin? So the first thing is a trait is being able to recognize whether or not you're actually solving a big problem at the outset, and whether or not you're doing that by figuring out how do I get to a minimum viable product, or whether I've got a good market fit, or whether I've done my necessary ideation. I'd say that was the first and most important trait. The other is stop asking your friends and family for the feedback. They love you. They're going to tell you, they're going to give you a little bit of a sugar-coated response. You need to be talking to people that don't know you. Those are the ones that are going to give you the most valuable feedback. So those are two things I've mentioned on that account. Um, the second thing I was asked to comment on today in this video was what do you think is a really big challenge that entrepreneurs can face? And let me tell you, we're obviously living in a world that you know perhaps better than most countries, is full of a lot of disagreements and challenges of nations and cultures being able to agree with each other, especially our governments. And so I think entrepreneurs have a new role. We call them the new diplomats. And one of the things that is very common across the world is the entrepreneurial culture, the culture that we figure out a better way of doing something. We form teams, we test ideas, and we create and we build things. And I think whether or not you're in Israel or whether you're in any other part of the world, if you come together, you find you have a lot in common with those people. So in other parts of the world doing the same thing in the ecosystems. So I certainly think the biggest opportunity that entrepreneurs have is to take on that role of ensuring that we maintain levels of cooperation, of listening, of understanding, and of understanding that we are, of course, much better together. And it's a theme of Global Entrepreneurship Week. Together we build this year is very much around that sentiment, that we should be looking for peace and prosperity in the world, led by entrepreneurs who execute and implement. They don't spend much of their time arguing and disagreeing with each other, that alas, our governments often do. And then finally, superpower. I was asked to say, what would be my favorite superpower? Well, it's pretty easy for me. The one superpower in my work I wish I had was I wish I spoke everybody's language fluently. I would be a much better listener at understanding what's really going on in the challenges that many of the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystems face around the world, which is part of what my passion is, to try to listen, to learn. We do the best we can at Gen Global to be as neutral and as good a listener and to be responsive as possible to all cultural perspectives. But I often think if I had personally had a superpower, this week alone, I've been in England, I've been in Germany, I've been in Saudi Arabia. I was in Johannesburg, all within the last 10 days. And they're all countries that I do sort of understand the languages. But as I expand and look at the rest of the world, I do wish I spoke Portuguese and Spanish, and that I spoke, of course, Chinese, and so many of the other languages that I think are important. Anyway, that's the big superpower. I want to wish you a happy Global Entrepreneurship Week, and many, many congratulations on all the great things that are going to be happening. Many thanks, and I will hopefully see you soon.